If you're keeping score at home, 3 more banks were shut down by the FDIC over the weekend. This brings the total now to 133 failed banks. How long can the FDIC itself hold on? Joining us is Bill Bartmann. He is author of Bailout Riches, and he is, to say the least, very concerned about the FDIC. Bill, it's Brian Sullivan. You know, we actually had the vice chairman of the FDIC on earlier in the program. He was talking about being overbanked or underbanked or not having a bank account, and I asked him, because I knew this interview was coming up, about how long that $45 billion fund that they want to raise will last. He said it should last them for at least 3 years. You beg to differ.
Brian, I think that's wishful thinking. The $45 billion is probably not going to last through 2010. If it gets them through the next election, that'll be a good day.
Okay, now why do you say that? It's the FDIC. They know their own books. Why do you disagree with that?
Well, I do like the FDIC. Of all the federal agencies, I think they get it right more often than not, and I think Sheila Bair is probably the smartest woman in Washington. But they also live in a very pragmatic political arena where they have to say what it is they have to say. And to admit right now would be that they can't afford to fund what's coming would be like them yelling fire in a crowded theater. They have to put on the most positive, optimistic, best case scenario they can possibly get away with. And the best one they can get away with is that this $45 billion might actually last 3 years. Now, coincidentally, they say that because it's 3 years worth of prepayment of premiums. So if it doesn't last 3 years, there's going to be a shortfall later, kind of like the cash for clunkers.
Well, yeah. And well, there's another issue here as we see it. I mean, the president today is meeting with bankers to say, why aren't you lending money after we've given you TARP? If banks are already struggling with bad loans, as we just discussed with our previous guests, and now the FDIC is telling many banks, hey, as opposed to paying us, $1 million a year, can you give us $3 million right now because we want to save up? What the heck is that going to do to lending?
Oh, well, you know exactly what it's going to do to lending, Brian. It's going to shrink lending one more time. I mean, so we've got, Citicorp today, saying they're going to go out and float a stock issue. Great. I'm happy for them. I'm glad they're capable of doing that. But why then repay TARP? Save that money, save the TARP money, use it to lend, and same with the bank premiums. Why prepay 3 years worth of premiums when that same money could be used out there right now to be helping consumers who really need desperate help?
Well, how do we get out of this, Bill?
Well, the sad thing is we're so far in, the only way out now is to go all the way through the forest. And that means there's about 1,000 banks that are going to fail. There's about 1,000 banks still left. The FDIC acknowledges 554, but again, rose-colored glasses. They've never hit the number. They've always shot at the low side of it. So we have 1,000 banks to fail in 2010. When that great purge goes through, coming from the commercial real estate collapse that I think right now everyone sees looming large, then perhaps then maybe we'll finally find ourselves on the other side.
So if you're a betting man, Bill, we're going to wrap it up then with basically you're going to bet that the FDIC will eventually need some kind of a treasury. By the way, in their charter, it's an automatic bailout. No one's got to approve it. They automatically get the money from the treasurer or treasury.
Absolutely.
You think that will happen?
Absolutely. They have a $500 billion line of credit with Treasury. They can tap anytime they want to when it's politically convenient to do so. Right now, it's not politically convenient because they would have to worry about who's going to be the super regulator. And if they take the money, they lose their chances.
Bill Bartmann, author of Bailout Riches. Bill, thank you.
You're welcome, Brad.
Take care.